Well, a third of the season to go, a time when the jockeying for position stops and definitive steps are taken. May will bring the 40th anniversary of Bristol City's last top division game. The West Country a desert of top-flight football since then. But could this be their time? A superb recent run has engineered a promotion push of real intensity. 4 straight wins, taking the Robins up to 6th. Win tonight, and they go third, halving the deficit to leaders West Brom. And with the Baggies set to come here, and a trip to Leeds in the offing too, Lee Johnson's men could be in a real position of strength by the end of this month. The potential Achilles heel, their home form, which has been average at best compared to their promotion rivals, and that's a fact that Birmingham hope to exploit tonight. Blues cushion above the drop zone leaves some margin for error, aided by an impressive victory over Forest last weekend, and having accrued a 7-game unbeaten streak, there's a feeling that progress is being made. But tonight, a litmus test for both of these teams of their impressive recent form. Well, a quick reminder of the two teams. Bristol City, Bentley in goal, Hunt, Williams, Baker and De Silva, Smith, Eliasson, Masengo, Patterson and Vyman, and Jeju up front. Birmingham City, Camp in goal, Collar, Roberts, Clark, Salter and Pedersen, Bella, Sunjic, Gary Gardner and Bellingham, Hogan and Jukovic. And the referee is Gavin Ward, who took charge of the Robins' home defeat to Millwall back in December. Blues players just in a huddle away to our left-hand side. Red and blue, not an obvious colour clash, but it is Birmingham in their change kit tonight of very dark green, who will kick from left to right in this first half and defend the end of the ground that houses the travelling Birmingham fans, the Atio stand, away to our left. It's a wonderful sporting venue, this one. We're perched high above the halfway line in position A, just at the front of the top tier of the Lansdowne stand. Great vantage point. And Bristol City know that they have really to keep the intensity alive in this promotion chase. Make it a 5th straight league win tonight. They're in possession on the right-hand side with Ashley Williams ball forward, headed back by Sunjic, and towards the Birmingham City left. Bellingham's first touch is just in vain. He can't keep it in. Goes out of play for a throw, which will be taken on the Bristol City right, about 15 yards inside their own half. You're live from Ashton Gate on TalkSport 2. The lights of the Clifton Suspension Bridge visible away to our left-hand side. On a crisp night, a terrible back pass from Roberts, and it's going to be 1-0 Bristol City inside 40 seconds. A quite shocking defensive ball back to the goalkeeper. Stood no chance of getting on the end of that whatsoever. And Bristol City are ahead. What a start to the game. First attack for Bristol City. So easy for Birmingham to try and mop up. He's played back to the goalkeeper, Lee Camp. And he's had no chance of being able to get on the end of an underhit ball. And he's just rolled into the empty net. Bristol City leading Birmingham by a goal to 0. And if it was going to be a tough enough task for Birmingham City anyway, they find themselves behind inside the opening moments, having well and truly shot themselves in the foot. Patterson can't believe his luck.
Well, what a start here. The Robins are rocking early on, but Roberts, what an error. I mean, it's just a simple back pass to Lee Camp. He's completely underhit it. That's that high energy we spoke about in terms of Bristol. You know, they're up there, one of the leaders, and winning the ball high up. Jamie Patterson read the back pass, took it around the goalkeeper Camp, who had no chance, just rolled it into the empty net. What a start for the home team. Gifted a goal.
Well, listen to the intensity of the atmosphere here in the West Country tonight. And Bristol City, who've won each of their last 3 league games by a goal to 0, already have a 1-0 advantage inside 40 seconds. An absolute gift. And Mark Roberts preferred to Harley Dean in the starting lineup tonight. The man who has committed the cardinal error. He didn't know where to look.
Well, he didn't look, that's the problem, did he? Didn't look back at his goalkeeper Camp just to see where he was. Sold him completely short, but Patterson on the move, as all good sort of wide forwards, very high energy he is, Jamie Patterson. We saw of his goal, didn't we, recently? There's a little bundle of tricks. Got the winner against Reading. Took it around the keeper really well there, didn't he? Showed great composure. One touch, take it round him, and a lovely little finish into the net. But Mark Roberts will have sleepless nights about that.
Well, he scored the winner for Derby against Birmingham earlier this season when he was out on loan, back here at Bristol City at his parent club, and he struck again. Birmingham have a corner very deep towards the far post, but as it's headed back into the fray, it's easily picked up by Bentley. Whistle had gone anyway. Referee seeing some pushing and shoving going on inside the box, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Bristol City. Well, their record is excellent when they've taken the lead in games, as you would expect from a side with a very solid defensive base. They've also got a very good record against bottom half clubs in the Championship this season. 40 points from their 18 matches against sides in the bottom half. 12 wins, just 2 defeats. And they have their noses in front here again. As Masengo tries to get on the end of a ball forward, nodded on by Weimann and chased down the left-hand touchline. Well, it should be easily dealt with. It wasn't easily dealt with at the back. Birmingham all over the place again. The ball's clipped inside the penalty area. And it's Sunjic who's back to defend. Roberts hooks it over his own shoulder. Bella will be able to bring it down. He's lost out. It's Bristol City that are playing with a real urgency and threat in the early stages. Birmingham yet to get going. As Jukovic lays the ball back now for Collin, who will take it down towards his own corner flag and then eventually turn it away, and out for a throw that will be taken on the Bristol City left-hand side by De Silva. And Jay De Silva's throw back for Corey Smith. Smith to Nathan Baker. He was a former Aston Villa player. Will certainly be relishing the opportunity to face Birmingham City tonight. The centre-half's ball forward that little bit too long for Jeju, and it drifts past everybody, goes out of play for a goal kick which will be taken by Lee Camp. 4.5 gone on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 0.
Oh, what a start here. But just looking at the Blues there, they got the ball into Jukovic. He just had a simple hold-up ball, then he laid it back to Collin, put him under all sorts of pressure, and they just haven't got going here, Birmingham. Obviously that early mistake has not the stuffing out of them really, but certainly when Jukovic gets it, he's got to get hold of it.
Hunt has it, long ball over the top from him. It's a good run as well from Weimann, and it could have been Sunu. Chested it down on the pirouette and rifles a right-footed volley over the bar, but that was just too easy. One long ball forward over the top. Birmingham City back line turned, and Weimann with a sided goal. Well,
it's almost as if Birmingham haven't done their homework. Have they not seen any of Bristol's games? I mean, they know they're high energy, so they try and play out and pass back to the goalkeeper, and they win it off them and score. They know Bristol favour that long ball in behind, very direct. No one picks up Weimann running from in to out. Really poor start here from the Blues.
Clearance comes from Camp. It's a high ball forward through the midfield that Williams deals with. Battling with Jukovic, who's able to turn. So he works it forward down the inside left channel for Scott Hogan. He knew he was offside, let the ball run, and it goes through to goalkeeper Dan Bentley, who is a veteran of over 100 games for Southend and also for Brentford as well. And he launches it forward, headed down by Clark Salter. But brought under control by Patterson in the midfield, and he sprays it wide for the blonde-haired Weimann. An opportunity for him to run at Collin, and he's fired it inside the penalty area, but it's too heavy a pass. Pedersen's going to be able to get it away for Birmingham, and it should be easily cleared by Bellingham down the left-hand touchline. He's lost out, does well to recover, and it's a clever backheel flick from Pedersen to Pedersen. Knew exactly where he was, and he will play it forward. Masengo comes across to cover, and he will put it out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Birmingham City left on halfway.
Really good football again, brilliant from Bristol. Jamie Patterson gets it, he could have laid it off in the middle of the park, right in the D actually. Instead, works it out wide to Weimann, maybe just across from Weimann, was a little bit wayward. But again, look at that high press from Bristol. He's winning it back off Lee Camp.
It was Clark Salter that laid it back to him. And that, if anything, was a little bit too brisk because it made it a difficult one to control, but he did get it away before Weimann could put the pressure on. Now a long-range shot just dribbles innocuously wide from Gary Gardner, but it's taken a deflection on its way through, I think off Corey Smith, to give Birmingham a second corner, which will be taken over on the left-hand side. And Bella, who was the hero in the 120th minute of that cup tie against Coventry the other night with that cross-come shot that came in off the inside of the post, goes across to take it. Pedersen will stand right in front of goalkeeper Bentley to deny him a run towards the ball. In it comes towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Crucial touch came off Hunt. Will come down towards the Birmingham City right, where it's shepherded out of play by Bellingham for a throw that will be taken about 25 yards from the corner flag on the Birmingham City right. And it's an opportunity for Roberts to come across to take it. And he does have a prodigiously long throw on him. And there are 5 Birmingham players inside the penalty area. 2 stand on the edge of the box. Roberts, with ball in hand, hurls it in, but it's a looping trajectory that made it easy for Patterson to clear. It bounces down towards the right-hand touchline. Colin flicks it forward. Bella guiding it down towards the corner flag. Roberts wraps his foot around it, gets it inside the box, headed on by Jukovic. Couldn't find Hogan. Masengo is in there to knock it away. Birmingham win it back. Sunyic's touch, though, just creates a problem for Bella. And Birmingham did well to mop up and, in the end, guided back to Lee Camp. But, of course, the fact that Bristol City now lead, everything plays into their hands because they're such an adept counter-attacking team.
Yeah, they've just got to be careful on these set pieces. Got to defend them well. I mean, Birmingham lead the league, actually, in scoring from set pieces, and they've got really good delivery.
Bellingham with a twist and a turn inside the penalty area, and another twist and another turn. And eventually it's cleared by Williams and put out of play for a throw just before it went out of play for a corner. And Bellingham's efforts appreciated by the travelling Blues fans away to our left-hand side. It's another long throw forthcoming from Roberts.
Yeah, and this is where they bring Zizou back. I mean, he's so important corners against throw-ins, especially here tonight. He just stands middle of the goal, right on the 6-yard box. If it does reach that far, he's the one to go and clear it.
Roberts takes 2 steps back towards the hoardings and then runs forward, hurls it in. Another really looping delivery. Jeju with an important header away. Sunyic trying to guide it back in, but it was another poor touch. And it's the catalyst here for a Bristol City counter-attack. Jeju playing it forward through the midfield. Now Eliasson had Masengo out to his left. Jeju tries to break through himself. Gardner and Sunyic come towards the ball, win it back and work it back for Camp, who clears down the right-hand touchline away from Jukovic. And out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Bristol City left.
Well, Lyson just took a little bit too long there. I mean, it was a good counter-attack. If actually he'd have played Masengo in, he was going to streak away. In the end, took too long and slowed the attack down. But again, goes back to Camp. He's trying to pick out Jukovic, kicks it straight out of play. Very, very slow start from the away team.
They've had the majority of possession. Won a couple of corners, couple of long throws, but Bentley yet to have any hard work to do. Whilst Lee Camp has already picked the ball out of the back of his net with Patterson's goal on 39 seconds. The difference between the two teams here on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 0. Now the Robins up to 3rd in the table. If they can hold on to this advantage that they've had since the opening moments of the game. They've halved the deficit between themselves and West Brom, who have 56, Leeds 55. Bristol City up to 53, going above Fulham, Forest and Brentford if they win tonight. So Bristol City throw on their left-hand side, which Jay De Silva will take. Again, some minimal pressure from Bristol, just forces a turnover from Birmingham. I think they realise that, you know, Birmingham maybe aren't that great with the ball at the back. That's their trigger. As soon as any of them get on the ball, whether it's Clark, Salter and Roberts, got very high press on Bristol, just trying to force that longer ball and the turnover, and it's worked every time. De Silva preparing to take this throw down the left-hand touchline again for Bristol City. Jeju comes to meet it on the left-hand side. Roberts stuck there with him, and it's cleared. Baker then slices it out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Birmingham right. This near touchline, they're kicking from left to right as we look at it. And one thing that Birmingham will still think that they have in their favour, if you're going to make a bad error like that, you might as well do it in the first minute rather than the 89th. And they have scored in each of their last 7 league games since a 3-0 loss to Hull. They've scored in each of the 7 games since then, unbeaten in that run. And they're on their front foot here with Pedersen trying to make his way through. Surely rolled over the line and out of play for a goal kick. Might actually have been a little push or a shove in there as well. But a free kick, goal kick has been given, which Bentley will take. And Bristol City still leading. 12 minutes gone here on TalkSport 2, and here's David Connolly.
Well, that was the first time we've really seen Birmingham in possession. Terrific little switch of play from Sunjic. It's almost like he knew, I receive it on this right-hand side. I know Bellingham's right out on that left. He's the one we're going to aim for. He'd done that. Superb switch of play. Barely even looked. Then he had Pedersen on the over, but it was actually a poor ball from Bellingham.
Bentley with the long clearance over the halfway line, returned by Jake Clark-Salter, and then in turn with a diving header from Williams. Goes out towards the Bristol City right-hand touchline. It's a real high up and under from Hunt, which spirals down and is not caught by the ball boy over on the far touchline.
It was a poor touch, was it, Jim? Listen, you could call it as it was.
Yeah, he's not going to be an Aussie rules player, not able to take a mark like that from a high-hanging ball. But then he probably is only about 9. It's probably a little bit harsh that we're picking on him. Williams heads the ball away down the right-hand touchline. It's returned by Sunjic, header, who's in for the injured McEachran tonight. Josh McEachran out probably for 9 months, they reckon, because of that anterior cruciate ligament problem. A ball laid back for Lee Camp, and it was another timid back pass and a poor clearance from the Birmingham City stopper. It didn't get any height on it, but Birmingham survived it. Sunjic trying to bring it down in the midfield. Now Blues will be able to bring it forward with a little bit more intent with Bella finding Collin, the Frenchman outside. It's a good ball down the touchline. Bella's going to have to sprint after it, and he couldn't quite keep it in. So it was a good ball. The idea was certainly right. Got the angle, but just a little bit too much pace on it. There is a bit more of a camber on the pitch. It was down pitch side earlier, and like the old days where they have a little bit of a crown in the middle. You don't see that so often these days, particularly on the newer pitches, but this one does have that. So the ball just likely to roll out towards the touchlines and just pick up that little bit of speed as it does so, and that was the case then. It's out of play. It's a goal kick, which will be taken by Bentley. And it's cleared high, right-footed. Jeju with an excellent flick on Masengo, trying to get past him. Is well shepherded by Pedersen back to his goalkeeper, who will bowl it out quickly for Roberts. And Roberts controls it, turns, and goes back for his goalkeeper again. And Camp gets it forward. A long, right-footed ball forward from Lee Camp, flicked on down the left-hand touchline, chased after by Bellingham, but cleared down the right-hand side by Hunt for Bristol City. And out for a throw, which will be taken by Birmingham. We've had 65% of the possession so far, but Bristol City much the happier with life. 1-0 they lead.
Well, what they do have, Blues, running in behind is plenty of runners, you know, especially off the flicks from Jukovic, whereas Bristol don't really have that. Obviously, with that one up top, it's up to some of those midfielders to get in contact with Jeju. And obviously their biggest chance is winning the ball back when Blues go back to their goalkeeper. You can see Andy Vyman is playing left midfield, stroke left wing, but as soon as the ball goes back to the goalkeeper, he leaves his position, sprints at Lee Camp, just trying to force an error. But I guess, you know, they've just got to be a little bit braver on the ball, Bristol. Get it down, try and retain it, you know, work their way out of this sort of half and just secure possession a little bit better.
De Silva just turning away from Bella, easily in the midfield, through the midfield towards the former Monaco player, Masengo, French under-19 international. Out from him to the right-hand touchline, and then he's continued his run forward, flicks it on. Jeju has it, he works it out to the Bristol City right, where a cross comes in, but Clark Salter can head away. Corey Smith back out to the touchline again. Bristol City working it forward. Eliasson in from Hunt, very deep cross which Patterson will drift out towards the left-hand touchline. Anybody else might have been able to control that. It took a lively bounce in front of Patterson and skipped over his head. He's only about 5'6", and drifted out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Birmingham City right. Sunjic and Bella able to play their way out of trouble. Jeremy Bella, who scored that 120th minute equaliser against Coventry on Tuesday, a man with French top-flight experience, now working it wide to Christian Pedersen, scored the winner against Forest last weekend. Back from him into Sunjic in the midfield, and he's just on the edge of the centre circle. Bristol City happy to play with quite a deep line. It's interesting that Pep Clotet was talking about the fact that they had to make sure that they were attacking big spaces and defending small spaces, was the line that came up from his press conference yesterday, and so far that's something that Birmingham haven't really been able to do. Sunjic to Bella.
Well, look at all 11 Bristol players in their own half, very, very deep. This is the issue, I think, with the 4-1-4-1 at times, you know, getting out to go and press the ball down and just being a little bit bolder and braver, certainly at home. But look, they got the goal lead. It's a case of sitting on it.
Vyman's turned it forward. It's away by Roberts. Vyman again. Jeju able to pick it up, and Sunjic rifled into the challenge. Picks Jeju up, but it will be a lecture from Gavin Ward, nothing more than that. I think some referees might have given a yellow. That was unceremonious, let's say.
Nice bit of skill there from Jeju. Obviously a little sort of Cruyff turn to get away from the first challenge, then a nutmeg on Sunjic on the second. As you say, could have been a yellow easily.
Set off recently against Blackburn in the FA Cup just a couple of minutes after coming off the bench. Ivan Sunjic. That's the worst challenge of the night so far. Free kick to Bristol City, only about 8 yards inside Birmingham territory. The Robins leading by a goal to nil here on TalkSport 2. De Silva pumps it forward, Jeju flicking it on, Weimann turning it off, Collan, and out of play. Oh, it's a goal kick. Collan was quite happy to let the ball run over the line. Andy Weimann was convinced that it had taken a touch off a Birmingham player on the way through. But it is a goal kick which will be taken by Lee Camp, who saved a couple of penalties in that shootout against Coventry the other night. Just spotted the ball down on the edge of the 6-yard box in front of the Blues fans in the Accio stand. And he clears it out towards the left-hand touchline. Trying to find Bellingham. The flick on from Gardner not forthcoming. Appeals for handball against Sunjic. Gavin Ward, the referee, says no. Lee Johnson was convinced that his side should have had a free kick there. And possession breaks for Bella on the Birmingham right. An opportunity for him to try and take on De Silva. And then Patterson comes across. The last touch off him. And he follows the ball towards the touchline to Bello in the face of assistant referee Mark Pottage, who didn't put his flag up for a free kick for the handball in the midfield. Play goes on with Collan from this throw. Bella now, right-footed ball, flashed across the edge of the penalty area. Hogan tried the acrobatic, but it was knocked away from him before he got there, and it's out for a Birmingham throw on the left.
Well, I've got a bit of sympathy for Patterson because I think it was a handball from Sunjic just to stop that breakaway. I can't believe the referee didn't see it. I can understand the assistant referee, he's miles away, but certainly Gavin Ward was right there on the spot.
Clark Salters, diagonal ball towards the edge of the penalty area. De Silva clears. Jeju's hold-up play not so good. It's a heavy touch and Sunjic picks it up. Bella rolls it back to him, right-hand side of the penalty area. Baker misses his kick at the near post, causes problems. Half cleared. Sunjic with an effort. Bellingham's effort blocked on the line. Birmingham very nearly back on level terms. It's half cleared. Hogan again misses his kick and De Silva knocks it away.
That was a brilliant goal line clearance. It's Ashley Williams actually drops onto the line. Looked like a certain goal from Bellingham. Simple side foot finish, but Ashley Williams did brilliantly.
Well, look for all the world as though Birmingham were going to get themselves back on level terms there. And with the amount of possession that they've had, they might perhaps feel that it would have been a justifiable equaliser. Bristol City have been happy to sit back and try and soak up the pressure. First warning shot across the bows, and it all came after Nathan Baker missed his kick at the near post. Now Collan trying to play his way out from the back has caused problems for himself. The loose ball broke for Patterson, and his ball down the left-hand touchline evaded Weimann, and it goes out of play for a Birmingham throw on the right. 1-0 Bristol City, 20 minutes in on TalkSport 2. Pretty sure the goal scoring hasn't stopped yet.
Well, that was really close. I mean, I'm sure Bellingham's disappointed. What I would say is Williams does really well just to drop back onto the line, recognising that actually that might be the best chance of stopping a goal. Great goal line clearance, but as you said, a really poor clearance from Nathan Baker. You know, you've got to say Birmingham have actually bossed the ball. This is why when we spoke at the start in terms of their shape, Bristol City, I'd love to see them. Now they've got Naki Wells, you know, they go and play two up top, be a bit bolder and braver at home, but I don't think it was going to change it, certainly not after their results. However, I think sometimes at home you've got to be the one that really gets after the ball and makes things happen. At the minute they've been a bit too passive for me.
Bellingham chasing down the left-hand touchline. This time the free kick is given for a handball against him belatedly. But Gavin Ward puts whistle to mouth, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Bristol City in their right back position. 21 gone, and they lead Birmingham by a goal to nil, but Bellingham inches away from scoring the 5th senior goal of his career. Remember, he's only 7 months past his 16th birthday, and it was an excellent piece of defending. And Bellingham hit it with real power. Sunjic's ball inside the penalty area, a perceptive one, and Bellingham getting himself into a good position, but Williams gambled where it was going to go and was just able to effect the block. Here come Birmingham again with Bella. Outside him is Collan, but he's worked it back the other way for Sunjic, who's probably seen more of the ball than anybody else so far.
Well, just not getting close enough to him. I mean, they've got all the time in the world. Bristol far too deep. The two units sitting off, just allowing the Blues to dictate play.
This time it's Gary Gardner that gives it away in the midfield to Masengo, and the 18-year-old finds De Silva. Masengo then continues his run forward down the left-hand touchline here for Bristol City, approaching the edge of the Blues penalty area. Masengo checks back inside, lays it back for Smith. Smith rolls the studs of his right boot over the top of the ball before sending a crossfield pass square out towards Hunt. But Birmingham can bring it away with Gardner, and Gardner will clip it into space for Bella. And now Hogan will make his way forward, and Jukovic as well. Bella keeps it in on the right-hand touchline. An opportunity for him to try and run at Jay Da Silva. He cuts back towards the edge of the area, left-footed shot, and it's put in for an equalising goal by Scott Hogan. Birmingham back on level terms. A left-footed effort from Bella, and Bentley could only beat it away at the near post. Hogan in very quickly, must have been quite close to being offside, but he was there from no more than 6 or 7 feet out to tap it into the bottom right-hand corner. It's 2-2 for Hogan, and what a piece at Ashton Gate.
Well, they do deserve it, you've got to say. They've been brilliant since they conceded. I mean, Nathan Baker, to me, has got to close the ball down. Birmingham win it back in their own half. Then they break. A great switch of play out to Bello, who's got bundles and bundles of pace. He tries a lovely little step over, a little roll, and then another fake. Comes inside, unleashes a ferocious shot, going straight down the throat of the goalkeeper. Bentley makes a good save, but then parries it straight back into the path of Hogan just to tap home. It's another goal from within a couple of yards out for Hogan. He's their fox in the box. They do deserve that, I've got to say, but Bella's a real bundle of tricks. I mean, he's done ever so well out wide, getting it onto his left peg and unleashed a great strike. Could Bentley have done better? Probably. Palmed it straight into the path of Hogan, and he just gobbles those up.
Well, he scored against Bristol City, for Brentford, for Villa, for Sheffield United, and now for Birmingham City. And it is the first goal that Bristol City have conceded in 383 minutes. 1-1 the scoreline. Birmingham continuing their excellent goal scoring record in recent games. That's now 8 league games in a row in which they've scored. I think that Bentley will be a little bit frustrated that he couldn't do more with it. He came through a crowd of players. He is clearly onside, having seen the replay. Scott Hogan, there was a defender back on the line, but he easily was able to evade him. Well, Bentley getting his hands to the shot, but just parrying it into a central area rather than out sideways past the post for a corner so that they could regroup. Now Pedersen tries to shepherd a ball back to his goalkeeper. There's Eliasson on the Bristol City right-hand side who was making the run. Pedersen was just able to get between the Swedish international and the ball, and Lee Camp could come out and do the rest. 25 gone on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 1.
I would say maybe, I think Baker might have taken the eye away from Bentley, who stood right in front of him, and as that shot came in, he kind of half-ducked in Bentley's defence, possibly.
Here's Bella to Collan. It's Blues on the front foot again. Collan chipping it inside the area, and Bentley makes the near post save. And at this point, I think Lee Johnson will be concerned.
Well, you know, I guess this is how they play normally away from home. You know, they play a little bit deep, like they play on the counter. You know, if a team plays out, they try and win it high. If it's on, they'll play long in behind. But the problem is they're just not getting up close to the ball, just allowing Birmingham to dictate the play with their one up top. In Zizou, it's hard to get support up to him, and they haven't really had a spell in possession. I think that'll be the most disappointing thing. I think it's okay playing as a counter-attacking team away from home, but when your form is this bad at home, that's why I think you've got to really go for it.
62% of the ball so far for Birmingham, but they've had 6 attempts to 2. Remember, Birmingham 17th in the table, Bristol City 6th, and on the back of a 4-game winning run. Here's Jeju down by the left-hand corner flag. He's done really well, pulls it back for Weimann, and he's curved it, but past the top right-hand corner. We're just sitting behind that, saw the trajectory of it beautifully. You see what he was trying to do with Lee Camp, slightly off his line. He's trying to feather it and shape it into the top right-hand corner. He just had a little bit too much on it, and it probably went a foot high and a foot wide.
Again, a really good hold-up play from Zizou. I think he's been excellent so far. When he's had the ball, he really hasn't had it enough.
Here's Bellingham on the Birmingham City left, who's had one cleared off the line. He's won a free kick here as the retreating Eliasson brings him down. Nicholas Eliasson, who signed from Norrköping in Sweden, scored the winner against Barnsley here in the last home game for Bristol City. More than 80 games for the Robins behind him, an established part of the furniture, and a player who has drawn admiring glances from clubs in the Premier League, I understand. He's given a free kick away here, which has given Birmingham the opportunity to get the big guns forward. Hogan stands in the D. Jukovic stands on the edge of the D. Roberts is at the far post. Pedersen is in there as well. And Gardner also lurking with a little bit of intent. It's Jeju that's keeping an eye on him. A right-footed in-swinging delivery, just too close to Bentley, who can come out and catch it on the edge of the 6-yard box. And then wait for the Bristol City players to push forward upfield before bowling it out for De Silva to try and get Bristol City going again. 28 gone, 1-1. De Silva back through the midfield for Corey Smith. Smith inside the centre circle, just moves into the Birmingham half of the centre circle for laying it out towards Williams. Welsh international of vast experience, more than 660 games of club football and nearly 90 internationals behind him as well. Ball in the midfield with Baker. In fact, it's Williams' 750th career game for club and country tonight, which is an extraordinary milestone. Ball worked down the right-hand touchline for Bristol City by Hunt, and brought under control by Bella, who's just swapped flanks for a moment. He's gone out towards the left-hand side, just in this latest phase of play, and Bellingham's moved out to the right, and it's out for a throw which will be taken by Birmingham City's left-back Christian Pedersen, the Dane. 1-1 the scoreline as Bristol City just try and get the cushion above the bottom three up into double figures. Bristol City, as things stand, would move above Brentford into 5th if it stays this way, but would certainly see it as a lost opportunity. Hogan chasing down the left-hand side of the penalty area, wins another corner. It was good covering from Baker. This gave Hogan a yard or two start, but came back and recovered well. Had to time the challenge to perfection inside the penalty area, but slides it out for a corner which will be taken on the Birmingham left. Their third of the game. It's 1-1.
Yeah, this is worrying, I think, for Bristol, because you've got to stop giving away as many free kicks, as many corners. I mean, look, in the end Baker did well to cover, but again it's another corner coming into the box, and they're so good at scoring from these Blues. Big Roberts is up, obviously Djukovic, Clark Salter.
Pedersen standing in front of the goalkeeper, and it's attacked by Roberts, who just didn't quite get a clean contact on it. Birmingham again recycling it, right-hand side of the area with Djukovic. Ball in from Bellingham, and it's in for an own goal. 2-1 to Birmingham City as the cross flashed across, and it's the former Villa man Andy Vyman that has headed it past his goalkeeper. Had to be played because it was put into a dangerous area, but Vyman's touch takes it in, and Birmingham have turned it around. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2.
Well, it was coming. I mean, they've just conceded too many free kicks, too many corners, and they know how good the Blues are at just keeping the ball alive. They don't clear it very well. Bristol works out wide. Eventually Bellingham picks it up on this right-hand side. You've got to say Clotet has switched them on wings. It's a great ball into the box, but there's Andy Vyman just trying to clear it. Instead, as Bentley comes out to claim it, he just flicks it straight past him into the empty net. Goodness me, it's completely fallen apart here for the home team.
Well, he played nearly 130 games for Villa, did Andy Vyman, never in a Birmingham derby, but he's just scored inadvertently for Birmingham City. Behind inside 40 seconds, ahead after half an hour. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2. And judging by who's had the possession, where they've had it, number of opportunities that have been created, you have to say that the lead is deserved. Great character from Pep Clotet's men after such a poor start. First 7 or 8 minutes, they weren't even second best. But since then, they've been on top. They deserve the advantage. And now, a test of Lee Johnson and his side's mettle. They've not got a good home record, only the 15th best in the division. Beaten 4 times here already this season by Leeds and Millwall, by Blackburn and Brentford. And can they respond in a game that they certainly would have expected to win? 2-1 down. David Connolly.
There's a really good ball in from Bellingham, but to me they've just given too many fouls away, given too many set pieces. They know how good they are. I mean, what, they got 16 goals from set pieces, Birmingham. I mean, they're the league's best. So you've got to stop doing that. You obviously know what you're coming up against. I've got to say, Juju, not the most convincing. He's in that 6-yard zone. He's got to come and head it clear. I think Roberts, he just takes his eye off him, really. Maybe he's worried about the contact, I don't know. So it wasn't a clear clearance. Falls out wide. Brilliant ball in from Bellingham. There's Andy Vyman. I mean, trying to clear it. Bentley's come out of his goal to claim, and he's just knocked it straight past his own goalkeeper.
Now Hogan will make a run forward. Gardner's got it in the midfield for Birmingham, but all he's really been able to do is put it into a neutral part of the pitch, and it's easy for Bentley to go and pick it up. And he'll control it and then bring it inside his penalty area. and then work it through the box for Ashley Williams. Williams, ball forward for Corey Smith, the Bristol City captain. Back for Williams again. Now to Baker. Baker, who did play in a couple of Birmingham derbies for the Villa, brings it forward towards halfway. Long left-footed diagonal ball from him. Pedersen backtracks on the edge of his own penalty area, and then takes a step back and whacks it away left-footed. Out to the Birmingham left for Bellingham, who's gone back to the side on which he started now. Such a versatile player. Probably, ultimately, he'll be a number 8, I think, rather than a winger. He does tend to play pretty narrow on that left-hand touch, so Mabella will hold the width on the right. Ball knocked away by Roberts. And Bellingham has it, survives the handball shout. He's a great footballer and might not be much of a poker player, because even he stopped there after the ball had seemingly hit his hand. But he was allowed to continue as he played it forward. Ashley Williams is able to pick it up.
Well, here's Patterson just coming very deep here, just trying to get Bristol going. Get some energy into that side, into that team out there. They've got to be more confident on the ball here. They've got to be braver, take some chances.
De Silva trying to make his way forwards, fouled by Bella. And it's free kick which will be taken by Bristol City, just inside the Birmingham City half. Corey Smith just tapping the ball back for De Silva to take it. So they went 384 minutes without conceding in the league, Bristol City, and then let in 2 in 7 minutes. Off and away. What can they do from this free kick? De Silva working it forward into the feet of Patterson. Sunjic is in there, buzzing around him. Patterson able to turn very neatly, clips it inside the box. Pedersen can head that one away. Brought back down by Smith. Smith turning it forward towards the edge of the penalty area. De Silva, Eliasson. Smith showing for the ball again. Eliasson just trying to take on Bella, drops his shoulder, gets to the byline, clips it inside the penalty area, headed away easily enough, and then brought away by Jude Bellingham down the Birmingham City left, and it's an intelligent ball through the midfield. Hogan's making an excellent run, but has surely gone too early, and the flag is up against him. Birmingham wasting a glorious opportunity there as Gary Gardner broke through the midfield, but he had to hit it first time. Hogan had gambled, made his run, and when the pass was played, he was a yard offside.
Yeah, because Gardner's just got to release it earlier. Lovely little layoff, though, from Bellingham, just to release Gardner. But as he's travelling for the ball just over the halfway line, then Hogan makes his move. Then he needs the ball. He just took another touch, Gardner, and then Hogan was offside. That's a shame.
Ashley Williams turning it back for Masengo. There's plenty of cavalry on the bench as far as Bristol City are concerned. No Josh Brownhill, of course. He went to Burnley in a £9 million deal, but they spent a lot of that on signing Naki Wells. They brought in Benkovic, centre-half on loan, and Henriksen on loan as well. And the 3 new faces all on the bench. And in fact, Wells has been sent out to warm up, hoping for his home debut, the Championship Player of the Month for his exploits with Queen's Park Rangers. He's in great form, 6 goals in his last 5 games. Good intensity in the Birmingham press that time. Sunjic, but Corey Smith just played round it. And Gardner's had to come back into the left-back position in behind Pedersen to win it back for Birmingham. Sunjic has it now, takes it out towards the touchline, but his ball forward isn't the best, and then Jeju slides in. Pedersen saw the challenge coming, jumped out of the way, and it's a Birmingham throw, just shy of the midway stage inside their own half. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2, the scoreline on TalkSport 2.
Well swept up there from Gardner. Boom, boom.
Hey.
Yay. No, but good tracking back. He's had a really good game, hasn't he, Gary Gardner, in the middle of the park. Bundles of experience as well, and it is an experience, you've got to say. Birmingham side, they've got a nice sprinkling of youth, haven't they, with the likes of Bellingham, but there's plenty of know-how out there as well, and so far they've managed the game superbly well.
Yeah, plenty of experience in the landscape with Gardner.
Boom, boom.
Here's Bella, more to follow. Bella will turn in the midfield, clip it left-footed over the top. Hogan this time is onside, and he's just dropped off and chested it down very neatly. Bellingham wants it into feet. Hogan waiting, delaying the pass. Now Bellingham's got it, and he plays it across the edge of the 6-yard box. Keeper beaten. Williams knocks it away as Jukovic was there lurking, hoping for a tap-in. But Birmingham has scored twice, and they look the most likely side to score the 4th goal of the night.
Well, it's the movement of Scotty Hogan that's causing Bristol an awful lot of problems. They just need to find him, Birmingham. They've done that the last couple of times, but again, it took a really good clearance from Ashley Williams. Otherwise, actually, Jukovic could have scored.
What would have been his 100th career goal. Jukovic starting the night clearly on 99. Hogan and a Weimann own goal, giving Birmingham the lead after Patterson's goal in 39 seconds tonight, after a Roberts back pass was undercooked for Lee Camp, and Patterson nipped in, rolled it around the goalkeeper and into the empty net. Here's Colin, down towards the right-hand side of the area, and this time it's Hogan who's offside again.
But again, look, he's shaking it. Look, he's motioning. I know he's like, he's motioning his hand as if to say, just play it quicker. Because you've got to release your forwards much earlier. Once they make that run, if you delay it, or if he holds his run, he might not get away. Maybe he doesn't, maybe he doesn't quite trust his pace totally at this moment in time, but it will come back. Maybe that's why he's just going a little bit earlier, or why he wants the ball much quicker. But either way, if they can release him, he's in an awful lot, Scotty Hogan.
He scored on his debut against Forest last weekend, adding to that tonight, 2-2 for his new club, on loan from Villa, having had a spell on loan at Stoke earlier this season where he only netted 3. The Blues have a player down, injured at the moment. Play will continue as Bristol City have every right to carry on going. It's up to the referee to stop play. Now Birmingham have possession, and they will continue as well. It's a long ball worked over the top towards Hogan. Bellingham is the player down for Birmingham, which is a source of concern as far as Blues are concerned. Now he's getting back to his feet. I don't know whether it was a knock to the head or a bang on the shoulder. He is back on his feet. Bristol City still in possession. Bellingham trying to come back and put a challenge in on Hunt, but he can't. Patterson clipping with the outside of the right boot. It's a very clever pass. Back in from Hunt, and Eliasson can't get there. Jay De Silva with an effort. That one's blocked. Then it's back into the fray from Patterson. Birmingham blocked that one as well. Cleared out for Masengo. And now Birmingham can calm things down as Masengo's chip ball over the top, wanting a runner in behind the Birmingham back line. There wasn't one forthcoming. And it's easily picked up by Lee Camp with 5 minutes from half-time. Hugely entertaining night in the West Country. Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 2.
That's a dreadful ball in from Masengo. I mean, it's hard to work out what he is, Masengo. Is he a creator? Don't think so. He hasn't really had an assist so far. Is he a sort of midfield destroyer in the middle of the park? It's hard to know. I can't quite work out what Masengo is at this moment in time, but they certainly need a little bit more creativity in the middle of the park, Bristol.
We would have the option, of course, at some stage taking Masengo or Patterson off, but Patterson, to my eyes, David, has been the better of the two tonight, bringing Naki Wells on. He can play up front or in behind. Here's Colin for Birmingham, bringing it towards the edge of the penalty area, but it's headed away, and De Silva will be able to bring it further clear for Bristol City. Down towards Patterson, and he will work it back to his goalkeeper. Bristol City then could match up Birmingham and go 4-4-2. Jeju's done really well there. He's come back off Mark Roberts and has won the flick on in the air. Did really well to get the right side of Roberts, guides it on, but nobody's making the run past him. He's too isolated a figure up there.
Yeah.
And it's straight out of play for a Birmingham throw.
They're just too deep, Bristol. They've got to get their units higher up the pitch and just, throw caution to the wind a little bit.
Camp gets it away for Birmingham inside his own penalty area, and it's a Blues throw won by Jukovic, which will be taken by Connor on the right hand side. Frenchman signed from Brentford, and now got more than 100 Blues games behind him. Birmingham have won 4 times on the road so far this season, including at Brentford way back in August. A hugely creditable result with the way that the table looks now. Hunt heads the ball away from the edge of his own penalty area for Bristol City. Blues trying to bring it forward again with Pedersen, but Birmingham have only taken 5 points from 7 away games against top half opposition so far, increasing that as things stand. Clark Salter sweeping up at the back for Birmingham, and the young centre half on loan from Chelsea clears out of play for a throw that will be taken on the Bristol City right, which is the far touchline. They're kicking from right to left towards the Attio stand here at Ashton Gate. 2-1 to Birmingham in a game that they were behind inside the opening minute. This is a long throw forthcoming, and Baker has made his way forward from the back, the tallest of the lot, in with Jeju, but it was repelled easily enough by Pedersen. Headed back out towards the Bristol City right, and then turns 60 yards back for Bentley, to a few murmurs of frustration from the Bristol City fans.
There definitely is, and I just wonder, maybe after 30 minutes, we have seen, the likes of Mourinho do this, just go, you know what, it's not working. I'm going to take Masengo off. I've got Corey Smith in there. I've got Patterson in there. Maybe they're my two midfielders. I'm going to put Nahki Wells up top because, make no mistake, Wells is coming on at half time. Yeah, I'll put my mortgage on that, but everything I've got, that is going to happen. But why wait? Why wait? Because I think it's cost them already.
Well, Jeju, with his physical presence, has won another free kick. And Bristol City have the opportunity here to get themselves back on level terms. If they can go in at 2-2, I think Lee Johnson will consider himself hugely fortunate, because the Robins, excellent for the opening 7 or 8 minutes, just haven't been themselves since then. Birmingham will defend with a high line. A couple in the wall by the look of it. Hogan's there. Is Bella going to come back in and join in the wall? Yes, he is. Birmingham got a line of 6 on the edge of the penalty area, and the other 2 outfield players stand on the edge of the D. Bristol City trying to get the bodies forward. Williams making a good run and sliding in at the far post. He's put it wide. Flag up anyway, and it wouldn't have counted, but it was a lovely shape on the ball. I think if Jeju could have got there, he was onside, and that would have counted, but it was just a fraction away from him.
Well, what was clever with that free kick is because of that high Birmingham line, if you went with an in-swinger, you got no chance of getting on the end of it. So they went with the right-footed from the right out-swinger. Just gives you a chance. It was just fraction, as you say, ahead of Jeju, but at the back post, again, just Bristol, just nearly there. But right idea, clever with that high line.
Camp clears his lines. High ball forward. We've got a minute of this first half remaining. There won't be too much stoppage time to be added on. Maybe another minute on top of that. Ball is out. Throw which will be taken by Jack Hunt for Bristol City, who was doubtful for today's game because of a slight ankle problem, but past fit to play. Hurls it down the line. Jeju flicks it on. Birmingham win the second ball. They've done a lot of that latterly. Corey Smith then with a high up and under. Vyman chasing that one. And then another sliding challenge comes in from Jeju. And Pedersen again saw it coming. It's the second of those, and goes out for a throw which will be taken on the Birmingham left. Pedersen in no hurry to take this, as you can imagine. Birmingham just wanting to run the clock down towards half-time, protecting this 2-1 lead. And what a boon it would be for them to beat Forest and Bristol City in the space of 6 days. Got half of the job done, and they lead tonight here in Bristol. 2 additional minutes, in fact, to be played as Bella makes his way forward now for Birmingham. Left-footed ball clipped in towards the edge of the penalty area. Baker hoping for time to bring it down, and Bellingham judged to have fouled him. I think Baker might consider himself a little bit lucky there, because it looks as though he's just caught in possession. The 16-year-old on top of him very quickly. But there was contact in the eyes of the referee, and as such it's a free kick to Bristol City on the edge of the box.
Well, they've really struggled, I think, at the back, despite their good record of late. I mean, De Silva, he's got to try, and he's trying his best to keep Bella down the line, but he's just allowing him to drift in field too easily. Again, he tries to pick out a play in the middle of the park. Baker takes too long on the ball, and there's Bellingham just busying around him.
Well, Bristol City have a throw, which will be taken by De Silva on the left-hand touchline, almost at the end of the first of the 2 additional minutes. Back for Masengo, who made 3 Champions League appearances as a 17-year-old with Monaco. And now Bristol City have another set piece. And here is the chance for an equaliser. It's a free kick in a very similar position to the last one. It was Bellingham on Hunt this time. And this free kick, if anything, is about 2 yards further adrift, but in a more central area. Still not in a position to shoot. The angle is prohibitive. Birmingham again will put 2 in a wall and set up defensively in exactly the same way. But the quality of the last set-piece delivery from this kind of area was impressive from Bristol City. What can they manage from this? Eliasson stands over it. Will be an in-swinger from him or another away swinger from Patterson. Jeju and Baker and Williams all in there to make different runs to attack the ball swung in. It is Eliasson this time, clipped in left-footed and headed away easily by Roberts, out for a throw which will be taken on the Bristol City left. That set-piece not nearly as good as the previous one from the Robins.
Well, I think they read Birmingham. That was going to be an in-swinger. He put his arm up Eliasson. They're already about 5 or 6 yards deeper by the time the ball was actually taken, so it enabled Birmingham just to clear their lines much easier than the previous one.
Throw taken by De Silva into Masengo, back for De Silva, and the half-time whistle goes. Bristol City ahead inside 39 seconds, but they didn't have another shot on target in that first half. Blues had one cleared off the line by the time Hogan scored, and then Andy Vyman, the former Villa man, heading Birmingham ahead inadvertently, getting on the end of a Bellingham cross to divert it past his goalkeeper. The form book turned upside down at the moment. It's Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 2. Well, no changes in personnel, surprisingly, at this juncture anyway, but it can't be long from a Bristol City perspective. Lee Johnson sent his side out very early, a good 3 or 4 minutes before the end of the half-time interval. It is Bristol City kicking from left to right that have got this second half underway. Birmingham in their change kit of very dark green, working the ball through towards Hogan, who can't get there. And the Blues fans in the Atio stand away to our left-hand side, delighted with what they've seen so far. It's been one of Birmingham's best performances for a while away from home after such a poor start. An excellent response. But what will Bristol City be able to do in this second half? I agreed with you, David. I must admit, I didn't put my neck on the line like you did, but I did think that Naki Wells would be on. I did think that Lee Johnson would make a change, because it's been such a below-par performance from Bristol City, but not at this stage. It surely can't be long.
No, I guess he's probably given them...
We've got a chance now as Patterson can't get on the end of a through ball. Yeah,
proverbial rocket, I think, in terms of get out there early and see if you can affect it on the pitch without me making a change. It looks like Patterson is playing a lot closer to Jiju, so it might be a 4-4-2 in terms of what they've got on the pitch. We just have to wait and see, but Patterson certainly, at this moment in time, looks like he's operating through the middle.
Jukovic helping it on, trying to get Hogan in. The flag's up again. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Ashley Williams. Has to be said, the playing surface here is fantastic when you consider the Bristol Rugby Club are also here as well as Bristol City. It's an absolute credit to the ground staff. Baker's got the ball at the back for Bristol City as the Blues tried to release Hogan. But they couldn't quite get the angle right on the pass to Silva, playing it forward, and that's easy for Lee Camp. Second half yet to get going, a couple of minutes old, and mistake strewn at the moment. Still 2-1 Birmingham City lead.
Again though, Colin with a simple pass to put Hogan in, and he was through, completely unmarked. Again, better service for him. I think he'd be so much more productive.
Jukovic and Williams both attacking the same ball. It beat the pair of them in the end. Bellingham slides in. Can't get between Hunt and the goalkeeper, and it's in the hands of Bentley. Hunt, Williams, Baker and De Silva, the back four in front of him. Corey Smith anchoring the midfield, but he's in a slightly more advanced role now alongside Masengo. Patterson pushed forward in support of Jeju up front, with Vyman and Eliasson supplying the width. Birmingham have camping goal. Colin, Roberts, Clark Salter and Pedersen. Bella, Sunjic, Gary Gardner and Bellingham. And Hogan and Jukovic up front. Blues in possession with Colin. Back from him to Jeremy Bella. Bella back for Colin, whose ball down the touchline hit Eliasson. Ricochets towards the edge of the box. Bristol City try and make something happen with Corey Smith. And then Sunjic has gone to ground as Birmingham look to break forward quickly. Corey Smith put him there and will be spoken to by referee Gavin Ward, who hasn't produced the yellow card so far tonight. He's not going to for this either, but he is going to call the Bristol City skipper over and have a word. Nothing more than that. Free kick to Birmingham, 10 yards inside their own half, and they lead by 2-1 here on TalkSport 2.
Well, not a lot has changed, has it, in terms of their performance so far in this second half from Bristol. Haven't had the same energy or tempo, certainly since that first 7 or 8 minutes, and it hasn't really changed at the start of this second half.
Camp standing over the free kick. It's just going to drop on the heads on the edge of the Bristol City penalty area. Jukovic again is battling in there, and Hogan came to make sure that Hunt couldn't play it, but in doing so has drawn the offside flag again, which could well be the 5th time tonight. It is a free kick which will be taken by Bristol City. Coming up tomorrow, Everton against Palace is TalkSport's exclusive game. Reshman in the chair and Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce at Goodison Park. Here it's Wigan against Preston from the Championship here on TalkSport 2. Then Game Day Live around the grounds. Adrian presenting from the City Ground alongside David. As Jeju has possession here for Bristol City. A bang for Masengo. Sunderland against Ipswich is our League One live game for you on TalkSport 2 tomorrow. And then Brighton against Watford from 5:30. Again, you can't hear it anywhere else on national radio tomorrow night. A big game at the bottom of the table with Nottingham Forest against Leeds. Coming up at 5:30 here on TalkSport 2. Here's Masengo, left-hand side of the penalty area, and he's won Bristol City's first corner of the night. Knocking it off Sunjic, cleverly disguised pass inside the penalty area, just playing at a slightly different angle, out for a corner. As I say, it is the Robins' first of the night. Can they get themselves back into the game here? Trailing by 2-1. 5 minutes gone in the second half. And it's a real crowd scene in front of Lee Camp. There must be 13 or 14 players from the two sides standing in and around the green-clad Birmingham City goalkeeper. Plenty of pushing and shoving going on. And in fact, Blues will just call another player over, Bella, who was just standing only 10 yards away from the corner taker. He's back now on the edge of the 6-yard box. So all told, there are 14 players inside the 6-yard box as it swept in, and it took a little near-post flick off a Birmingham defender, and the left-wing corner will be followed by one on the right-hand side, which Eliasson will come across the tank.
Yeah, excellent delivery, in-swinging there from Patterson, and I think it was Roberts, call back in Bella. I think I would keep Bella out there 10 yards from the take. It just means the take it then has got to hit a much higher ball into the box. Might give you a chance for the goalkeeper to come and claim it.
So Eliasson raises his right hand above his head, now swings it in left-footed. Jeju inevitably the target. It's headed away by Jukovic, and it'll break for Hogan on the edge of the penalty area. Birmingham might be able to get it forward quickly. He's got Sunjic ahead of him, and Gary Gardner is making his way through the middle. Sunyic's long cross just took a deflection. Gardner's going to be able to pick it up, but maybe he didn't see the deflection. He's controlled it after it has gone over the line, but he's judged to have got the last touch. Had he left that, it would have been a Birmingham throw, but instead it's a Bristol City throw in the right-back position, level with the edge of their own penalty area. 7 gone, second half, 2-1 Birmingham.
There's nothing wrong with Hogan's pace, is there? Maybe it is coming back because he was streaking away. I mean, he always has been quick, but looks rapid out there tonight.
Bristol City take the throw down the right-hand touchline. Ashley Williams just balloons it forward. It's an awkward one for Mark Roberts. He's had a better start to the second half than he did the first. Just sold his goalkeeper short on the back pass in the opening moments of the game, which was easily put into the net by Jamie Patterson, but it's been all Birmingham City since then, turning it around to lead 2-1 and looking for their 7th win in their last 9 trips to Ashton Gate. Roberts clears his lines down the left-hand touchline, bounces on the touchline itself and spins back in. Bellingham going up for it with Hunt. He was unhappy there, Bellingham. He thought that Hunt just left a little bit on him as he cleared it. And as it's laid forward, Patterson is offside, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Blues 20 yards inside their own half. And neither goalkeepers had anything to do second half so far, really. 2-1 to Birmingham.
No, not really. Just looking at Ashley Williams and Jukovic having a good old battle, aren't they, those two? Pound for pound, evenly matched. Both really powerful players. He's done a good job on him so far, Williams.
4 from Camp. And Williams leaning over Jukovic. Loose ball breaks down towards the left-hand side for Bellingham. Bellingham's ball in towards the near post, and it's easily claimed and bowled out by Bentley to Eliasson. Eliasson 15 yards outside his own penalty area in a central position. Turns it out towards the left-hand touchline for Masengo. Masengo's ball, looking for Eliasson again. Colin read it and was in strongly shoulder to shoulder and puts it out of play for a Bristol City throw inside their own half.
Not the best ball though, was it, from Masengo? Really didn't give his teammate a chance, and sometimes I look at him, I'm not too sure what he gives you. It's another poor ball, the giveaway there from Masengo.
And it'll be worked down the inside left channel again for the inevitable run of Hogan.
And you can see Williams there screaming at Masengo. Just tore a shred off him. Said, come on, you've got to look after that ball better. I know he's young, but can't afford to carry any passengers, certainly not in a championship these days.
Cam's got it on the edge of the D. Drives it into Bristol City territory. Williams battling with Jukovic, wrestles him to the floor. Play goes on, no foul. The referee thought there was as much going the other way. Bristol City clip it forward. It's a poor pass, and Clark Salter wins it back, and his ball is excellent. Now Hogan's got it. Jukovic peeling away to the back post. Hogan, faced up by 2 City defenders, plays it in, and Williams prods it away on the edge of the 6-yard box. Finds Vyman, cleared by Hunt, down the touchline, over the head of Jeju, but not over the head of Roberts, who heads it out of play. Just misses the TV cameraman on the near touchline. It's out for a Bristol City throw, but still Birmingham looking the more potent inside the opposition final third.
Well, they are, because they got that man Scotty Hogan. He's always on the last line, makes really intelligent runs in behind, and it's been such a live wire for them. Outstanding so far. I mean, Naki Wells has got to come on soon. I mean, he's there, he's got his trousers, tracksuit bottoms off. He's the only one with shorts warming up on the side. You never know, might be a double change here.
Certainly, it's an animated Bristol City bench, and there will be some overdue action. Jukovic clipping it forward. Hogan again knew that he would be offside that time. Always playing on the shoulder. Intriguing task for the likes of Williams and Baker, trying to deal with his pace. Birmingham fans in good voice away to the left-hand side. The Bristol City fans frustrated. Ball is easily cleared by Roberts. It's still the visitors who are having the majority of possession. They have it now with Bellingham. Bellingham's ball through the midfield. Sunjic is scooping it with the top of the right boot away from Eliasson. De Silva did really well, came back mopped up. He lays it back for Bentley. Still 35 minutes for Bristol City to get back into this game. Remember, they start the night 6th, and they will go up to 3rd if they can do what Birmingham have done and score 2 unanswered goals and turn this around from a position of deficit.
Again, though, look at Masengo, comes short to build up play, just plays it back where it's come from. He's got to open his body out, look to open up the pitch. You can hear the sense of frustration here from the fans. They want Bristol to play forward much earlier and quicker. I mean, Masengo's been so disappointing. I don't want to, pick on him, but he really has. I just don't see what he gives you in this side. I know Benkovic, look, he might be coming on. Naki Wells for sure.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Bristol City go 3 at the back. If Benkovic is going to come on, whether that is what's in Lee Johnson's mind. He used to play with the back 3, although this season it's been pretty much a 4 all the way through. But the double change will be made. So Wells and Benkovic are the players coming on. 2 of the 3 new signings. Who's coming off? Well, the first man off is De Silva, and Benkovic will come on to replace him. So does that mean that they will potentially move Vyman to wing back, I wonder? The other player that's coming off is Hunt, and Wells on for him. So both full backs off, and they brought on a centre half and a striker. Yeah,
so it looks like a change of shape. Back 3, I imagine Eliasson, maybe Andy Vyman as the 2 wing backs. Naki Wells and Jeju up top. Central 2 midfielders, it looks like Masengo and Corey Smith, and maybe Patterson just ahead of them.
So that is exactly what they're doing. Vyman at right wing back, Eliasson at left wing back. Benkovic as one of the 3 centre halves. He's playing on the right of the trio. The player signed on loan from Leicester, who's loaned to Celtic last season. And this is first league appearance since the last day of last season. Masengo dallying in possession, lucky to get away with that, as it looked as though he was caught by Bella. Caught in possession by Bella, but the referee thought he was caught by Bella as well. So it's a free kick to Bristol City.
Well, they were lucky, I think, there to get away with that. Masengo again just slows them down, takes too many touches, going sideways, not going forwards. He seems reluctant to actually get his passing going. Maybe he doesn't trust his passing, certainly over longer distances, but that's what you've got to do here to open this game up.
Bristol City swinging the ball forward. They've had much more possession in this second half. Jeju taking one down, headed away by Collin. Found himself as the deepest of the Birmingham defenders. Bellingham's touch, slightly risky, went back inside his own penalty area, but Blues could get it away with a combination of Bellingham himself and Pedersen. And now Bristol City bring it forward with Vyman. Vyman taking the ball towards the edge of the penalty area, but Blues can bring it away with Jukovic in towards Bellingham. Bellingham shown inside by Elias and pushed to the ground. Good advantage play by the referee. It was a good pass to Jukovic. He couldn't ride the challenge of Baker, who defended that really well. And if Birmingham could have got it right, there were 3 against 3 there, and an opportunity to bring it forward quickly. Now Vyman is given the ball by the ball boy on the near touchline. He was absolutely adamant that it was a Bristol City throw, and he wanted to take it quickly. The linesman on this near touchline, Mark Podic, has put his flag up the other way. And it's a Birmingham ball, and Lee Johnson is in the ear of 4th official John Busby, complaining about that decision. Ball thrown down the left-hand touchline by Birmingham. From that throw, Jukovic guarding it on for Bellingham. Bristol City win it back. Their possession second half up in the mid-70s. Remember, Birmingham had more of the ball in the first half. They've got it now with Patterson, running towards the edge of the penalty area. Patterson's ball wide. Eliasson crosses it in, and it will go out of play for a throw that Wells takes quickly. Back from Wells. 6 goals in his last 5 games, all of them for Queen's Park Rangers. They try and play him in down the left-hand side of the box. A sliding challenge comes in from Bella, and he's judged to have made initial contact with the ball just before it went over the line.
Well, you can see Corey Smith there saying to Eliasson, come on, I need something more from you, and I need better movement. He actually played the ball into the line, into the channel for Eliasson, but he just didn't move. Eventually, though, a little bit too late, but they won a corner, luckily.
Corner count all square at 3 as the delivery comes in, and Camper's done well. It takes it off the head of Naki Wells, and then just gets back to his feet, makes his way towards the edge of the penalty area, and just waits for players to push upfield before booming it long from the edge of the box. We played an hour on TalkSport 2. Jim Proudfoot and David Connolly talking through the action from Ashton Gate, where Birmingham lead by 2-1. Sunjic working it out wide towards Bella. Much better feel about Bristol City now that they've changed the shape to this back 3. Sunjic will bring it forward. Have been a couple of occasions, though, since the double change that Birmingham have almost been able to launch counter-attacks. And they've only got to get one right, and you think that they've got an outstanding chance of making the game safe. Gary Gardner fouled by Corey Smith. Free kick to Birmingham, 12 yards inside the Bristol City half.
Well, we've also seen, I think, the Bristol players getting on at each other a few times. So Ashley Williams have a go at Masengo, and then Corey Smith having a go at Eliasson. That sense of frustration. This is, pressure time, boiling point now. Pressure's on. Can they go and take some of this form and really kick on and get those points and climb up that table? Not be a nearly men. Can they actually carry it over the line?
Bella taking the free kick for Birmingham, and the flag is up. It was headed back from the far post area by Roberts, but he'd just strayed, and then Bentley picked it up. He had the ball in his hands anyway, so play was allowed to continue, and he bowled it out quickly for Vyman, and bowled it straight past him, and out of play for a Birmingham City throw. There's just a sense of panic, really,
there is,
about Bristol City. There's still half an hour left.
Yeah, and frustration, which I think it's come. I think the change was made too late, which brings its own self a panic, because suddenly you think time is running out. You make the change much earlier. I think you get a calmer performance. As it is, look, Bentley likes to restart play. We know that, but symptomatic of them so far in this second half.
Pedersen working in towards the edge of the area, and Bella leaning back, fires it over the bar from space on the edge of the D.
Yeah, it's worth a try, wasn't it? It's a difficult finish, coming in off the line, middle of the box. First time finish with his left peg, just blazed it over the bar. I'm not too sure they need 3 at the back, I don't know. I think they could have gone, 2 for 2 really, and get a bit more natural width. You've got to rely on Eliasson getting up and down, and Vyman getting up and down on this right hand side, and for me Masengo just hasn't done enough in the middle of the park to warrant actually staying on the pitch.
I wonder whether Lee Johnson will be tempted to bring Henriksson on to replace him. That would be a straight swap, 1-for-1 in the midfield. It's inevitable with any young player. Remember, Masengo is only 18.
Yes.
It's inevitable there are going to be ups and downs, and that there's not going to be a consistent level of performance, but he's got better games ahead of him, let's say. Here's Corey Smith for Bristol City, turned down the inside right channel, and good movement from Patterson, comes to meet the ball, and he can be shown the long way round by the Birmingham City players, but he's still maintained possession. He's gone from the corner of the penalty area to almost the midway point of the Birmingham half. He's laid it back for Masengo now. Just an overweighted ball forward, and there was a push anyway by Jeju, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Birmingham inside their own penalty area. They lead 2-1.
Yeah, it was an overhit ball, but actually his movement, Masengo, to drop back towards his own goal, there was no need. What Callum Patterson needed, James Patterson, he needed a runner ahead of him. Instead, Masengo drops behind him, and all he's got then is a longer ball forward, and another poor pass from Masengo.
Lee Camp running a few seconds down, takes the free kick. Long ball down the Birmingham right, and that one is picked up over on the right-hand touchline by Bella. After good work from Sunjic, Williams heads the cross away. Picked up by the retreating Naki Wells. Wells, who was on the books of Burnley for quite a while, but didn't start a single league game for them. He plays it forward, looking for Jeju, who's not happy with the delivery. Roberts was there to clear, and he goes out of play for a throw. And Bristol City's final change is imminent. 25 minutes still to go. But the last change will be made in a moment, and it's Adam Nagy, the Hungarian international midfielder, signed from Bologna, who is going to come on. And if it's not Masengo, I'll be very surprised. Let's see. Numbers ball comes up, and it is 4 for 42. As I say, Masengo has got a great future ahead of him. Hasn't been at his best tonight. He leaves the field midway through this second half, sprinted off, to give him his credit. A pat on the back from Lee Johnson, and Nagy on to replace him. Yeah,
I think, look, he seems like a terrific kid, and he's got obviously a great attitude. He runs around everywhere, but he just needs, I think he needs an awful lot of guidance on his game, how to improve it. Certainly drops too deep behind the ball too often, takes too many touches, doesn't pass forward enough, not progressive enough with his passing.
Apart from that, he's had a good night.
Well, he seems like he's got a great attitude, you know. That's all I say. It's endeavour. He tries, but it's misplaced, some of it.
Bellingham's control is absolutely majestic. Hogan's run wasn't. And Jukovic can't hide his frustration, nor can Bellingham. It was a high ball that had been played down towards the left-hand touchline. Bellingham killed it stone dead. Lovely little reverse ball in for Jukovic. He hit it first time for Hogan, but he'd made his run too early again.
Again, I guess it will come, won't it? I mean, they're just getting used to him in terms of how he wants the ball, Hogan. He wants it early, he wants it quickly so he can just scamper away, and maybe that'll take time. He's only been in the building a few days. I'm sure that will improve.
But he is so quick, as you've been saying. Yeah. You can almost play conservatively, I guess, when you're that quick, knowing that you've still got a chance of being able to get on a through ball. Here's Wells at the other end, and the blonde-haired Roberts comes across to clear it. Down towards Bellingham. Bellingham sweeping it forward, left-footed. No chance of Hogan getting on the end of that. Not too much more that Bellingham could have done, and it goes through for Bentley, who will knock it out towards Baker. But we're midway through this second half, and it's still Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2. Williams inside his half of the centre circle to his left for Baker. Nathan Baker bringing it forward. Bristol City making steady progress down the right-hand touchline. Coming in off that right-hand side is Vyman. Vyman, whose own goal at the moment is the difference between the two sides. Good movement from Patterson, who's onside, and Sunjic just had a little nibble at him, but he won the ball cleanly. It was a good challenge in the end, where there didn't appear to be too much margin for error, because it looked as though he'd started the challenge too late, but he got the ball, and he goes out of play for a corner, which will be taken on the Bristol City left. It's their fourth of this second half. Birmingham won 3 all in the first half. Bristol City have got 6 inside that penalty area, including now Benkovic, formidable aerial target. It's fired in towards him on the penalty spot. He wins it in the air, but it was only a looping header off the top of his head, really. And Camp can come out and make a comfortable catch on the edge of the 6.
I think Sunchic's had a really good game in the middle of the park. I think he's done ever so well for Birmingham. I mean, he just slots in there. He's quite quick. He's tall. He's physical. He gets his foot in. He makes interceptions. He can read the play. A very good game.
Certainly one of the man of the match contenders, and he's there again now. I bet he's had more touches than anybody else tonight. Collin works it down towards Bella with his black gloves, getting towards the edge of the area. Left-footed ball in from him, looking for a Hogan flick near post. Williams with a defensive clearance, and Bellingham comes to try and get on the end of the second ball in, but has come back from an offside position to become active, and it's a free kick for Bristol City, which Bentley's taken quickly out to Benkovic. Benkovic, who's seen very little action for Leicester this season, only 4 appearances, I think only one of those for the first team. The ball played through the midfield again. This is better from Bristol City. Jeju, good movement from him. Forced wide by Roberts' initial challenge. Back in from the left-hand side towards Wells, who stumbles over his own teammate Patterson inside the penalty area, who's lying down holding his head. And with Bristol City in possession outside the box, the referee stops it so that Patterson can receive whatever medical treatment is necessary. He just got caught, I think, initially by a Birmingham player, and then Wells fell over him. And so it was a double blow for Jamie Patterson, who's just being attended to now. He's okay, he's back on his feet, I'm glad to say.
I'm sure he'll be fine. Patterson, he's been their liveliest player, certainly busy, isn't he? Another one which has got a great attitude, always willing to get on the ball, make things happen. I think for me, though, the wing-backs are just a little bit too deep. They're not high enough, that's the only problem with this formation. I think that, you're asking suddenly your wingers, Vyman and Lyson, to do a little bit of both. If I was Birmingham, I'd be getting the ball out to Bello at every opportunity. Now he's up against a winger. He's up against a Lyson who hasn't really got a defensive bone in his body. That's not his game. Just keep giving it to Bello whenever you can. Let him take him on. You saw again, he cut inside, a brilliant ball in the box just ahead of Hogan. Every opportunity, I'll be giving it out to him.
Well, Bristol City were last in the top flight back in the 1979-80 season, the days of Tom Ritchie scoring the goals and Jerry Gow. 40 years on, can they yet get themselves back into a position where they're playing top flight football again? I certainly expect that they'll be able to get in the playoffs, even though this has been a disappointing performance from them tonight. And this is a really good chance for them because they've won a free kick. Jeju sandwiched between two Birmingham players.
There's a fight over who's going to take it, though. Well, not a fight, a discussion, I would say. Patterson, he's on it, he fancies it. Eliasson fancies it.
They're the two.
Naki Wells, there's a few.
Yeah, Wells has just departed the scene and will stand not quite on the end of the wall because you can't do that anymore, but he's taking a watching brief just at the edge of where the wall initially lined up, and it's been frog marched back another 3 yards. Wells will now stand in front of it in a bid to try and get in the eye line of goalkeeper Lee Camp. Patterson looks the favourite. It's marginally left of centre. It's a really good position, almost position A for a right-footed shot.
He tried to just move it forward, just a half a rotation of the ball, and the referee spotted and just rolled it back. No, you stay there, that's where that foam is.
So Patterson right-footed or Eliasson left. Both stand hands on hips. Eliasson hasn't moved. Patterson has, retreats, right-footed effort straight into the wall. It's not one of the Birmingham players off his feet. The player's going to have to stop again because somebody has taken it smack in the face. Good defending at some personal cost.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if the play can stop for Patterson, then it can certainly stop for this, because he just have to work out who it is that's down. He's taking it straight. Might be Jukovic,
I think, yeah.
Straight in the face. I don't think he won't be harmed, I don't think that much. He'll be alright.
Yeah, his modelling career's come to nothing after all.
Whereas if it was me or you, Jim, then...
Well, it would have been more of a problem, clearly. Looks like you took a few. He's okay. He's sitting up, and the Blues medical staff are with him. Just obviously, you have to go through all the protocol this day and age, but he's going to be all right. He's going to get back to his feet, and it will be a drop ball. I would imagine Bristol City will be given possession back. It's about 20 yards outside the Birmingham penalty area. Let me remind you very quickly what's coming up tomorrow. All of these games live for you tomorrow on the TalkSport network. Everton Palace, Wigan Preston, Sunderland Ipswich, Brighton Watford, and Forest Leeds. David at the City Ground. That one live on TalkSport 2 with a 5:30 kickoff tomorrow. And Game Day Live starts at 11 ahead of Everton Palace and Wigan Preston, which both kick off at 12:30. Everton Palace over on TalkSport, Wigan Preston here on TalkSport 2. Now it is going to be a drop ball to restart play. To my mind, that is so much deeper than where play stopped. And Birmingham, as the the ball is dropped down at the feet of Smith, then sprint back out. He works it back to his goalkeeper, and Birmingham race forward 15 yards. Bristol City have it again, trying to bring it forward. They're midway inside Birmingham territory now. Jeju slipping it inside the area for Patterson, trying to turn and get a shot in, and he's curved it across the face of goal and wide. Just a little bit too much on it for the shot and for the run of Williams, who was lurking with intent at the far post. And it goes out of play for a goal kick, and there are 15 minutes to go.
Oh, it's unlucky there from Patterson, but again, Jeju, superb hold-up play. I mean, he's done really well when he's had the ball. Arguably, probably hasn't had it enough, but what he's done with it, lovely little pick out for Patterson, left-hand side of the box. You see what he's trying to do, get it onto his right and bend it in that far corner. Just didn't quite get the curl on it.
Ball worked forward from the right-hand side. High one from Lee Camp, down the left-hand touchline, off the top of Vyman's head. And out for a throw, which will be taken on the Birmingham City left-hand side. Bristol City made their 3 changes. Blues haven't made any yet, but Wes Harding will be coming on in a moment. And that will be their first change. So that might also see Birmingham go 3 at the back. Pedersen turning it through the midfield, looking for Bellingham. Forrest can bring it away. Wells turning neatly. The Bermudan down to Andy Vyman on the Bristol City right-hand side in their red shirts and white shorts. Laid back for Corey Smith. Smith trying to fashion the ball through the midfield. That one was cleared by Roberts. Back over the top from Williams, and Eliasson is offside. A few Bristol City fans frustrated at the time it took the linesman to put the flag up, but until Eliasson is in the same postcode as the ball, he's not interfering with play. Birmingham will make that change now. Bella off, and on comes Wes Harding, whose last start was in that extraordinary 5-4 defeat to Leeds United over the festive period. But he has been playing at centre-half as well as at right-back in recent times, and he will come on for the final 15 minutes here. And I would imagine that he will come on and play at wing-back. Is that the plan, or is he going to come and play in front of Collan, and they're going to stay with a 4, and Harding's going to play on the right wing, or are they going to go 4-3-3? Hard to see exactly what they're doing at the moment, or whether Harding's going to play at wing back and Collan's going to play at centre half.
I think they're stuck to the back 4, but possibly that maybe Harding's just going to offer a little bit more protection down that right hand side in terms of defensively.
Yes, it is still predominantly the same shape as Bristol City bring it forward. Vyman now towards the edge of the penalty area, get towards the byline, clips it, it's a good ball in, and well met by Clark Solder at the near post, heads it out of play for a Bristol City throw. Vyman calling Benkovic forward, throws it back to the Croatian, making his Bristol City debut into Naj. His ball for overhit and straight out of play for a goal kick, which Lee Camp will take. 13 to go, and it's still Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2, as it's been since the half-hour mark.
Yeah, really poor pass there from Naj into the front. That's where they've struggled, haven't they? Bristol in that final third, in possession. Had an awful lot of it in this second half, but really done enough with it. Not purposeful enough. The quality on the ball has been lacking.
Vyman heads the ball away. Down it comes on the left-hand touchline for Birmingham City to work forward with Gardner. And then a fight ball in the midfield is headed on by Roberts. Harding has it now, his first touch looked to be with his hand, but the referee's allowed play to go on. He will take it on and take on Eliasson and win a corner. And he's done well, good first contribution that from Harding. Eliasson tracking back with him. Two players in the kind of position that they don't find themselves in too often. And it goes out of play for a corner which will be taken on the Birmingham City right hand side. It's their first of the second half, and understandably when you're 2-1 with 12 minutes to go, there is a complete absence of candidates to take it. They're running the clock down, nobody wanting to go and take it at all, and eventually Bellingham will go out to take it.
Yeah, game management. I mean, Harding done really well there. He's big, he's powerful, he's strong, isn't he? Give him a bit of protection and muscle and running power down that right hand side. Maybe that's where they see Bristol being a little bit stronger, so they've added a bit of protection there.
Naj and Gardner involved in some push and shove inside the penalty areas. The corner comes in towards the near post, it's easily cleared. Sunjic then with a header that goes straight out of play past Bellingham, the corner taker for a throw, which Bristol City will take. That's the worst of Birmingham's 4 corners of the night. 2-1 they lead with 11 minutes to go. Nearly a third of the goals in Bristol City games this season, though, have come in the final 15 minutes of matches, of which more in a moment as they work it forward here. Naj has taken up a more advanced position. Jeju dropping off, linking up the play, finding Smith. Smith clipping it over the top towards the right-hand side of the area. Pedersen, I beg your pardon, might have let it go. I don't think he got a shout. Vyman wasn't going to get there. It was cleared, and Bristol City pick up the loose ball again in the midfield. Forward comes Ashley Williams. Williams into the feet of Jeju. Back for Williams again. Turn towards the edge of the penalty area. An opportunity, potentially for Eliasson to get in a good cross, but he didn't get enough air underneath it as he looked for Vyman. Birmingham clear it, but only as far as Ashley Williams, and this is all in and around the Birmingham City penalty area. Naj is about 10 yards outside the box, and he's turned one way, then turns the other. The Hungarian lays it down for Eliasson, and the Swede will check in onto his left foot. Good ball clipped in. Williams helps it on, headed away by Collan towards the edge of the box, then by Gardner, and then whacked away by Bellingham to safety. But it's only a temporary respite, and Nathan Baker brings it forward. And a feeling now that Birmingham are on the ropes a little bit, as Wells tries to get in towards the near post, and Roberts clears that one. Forward towards Hogan, who tried to nudge it past Corey Smith, and had he got it over his head, he would have had a clean pair of heels and a run on goal, but Smith did well, and Bristol City will bring it forward again with 10 to go.
Well, they've got to be really good here now. Dogged defensive display from Birmingham. They've made the change. Obviously sitting in, trying to accept what they've got, take it. This will be a massive 3 points for them. They've got to get out though here, close the ball down.
Another Bristol City cross comes in from Vyman, straight at Pedersen. And cleared. Naj picking it up for Bristol City, works it back for Benkovic. Very tall, elegant ball playing centre half. Naj plays it back to him again. Just controls it neatly. Very upright stance, Filip Benkovic. Played forward again to Williams. Williams clipping it straight ball over the top. Flag stay down, and Jeju misses the chance. Glorious opportunity for an equalising goal. Clipped over the top. He made the run in behind the Birmingham back line. He chested it down. Cam got off his line quickly enough to force Jeju to knock it first time, and he put it over Cam's head but over the bar, and it's a massive let off for Birmingham, with Bristol City knowing they should be back on level terms.
Well, he holds his head in his hand. He knows what an opportunity that was to rescue this game. It's a terrific ball over the top. And Jeju's had such a good game, he really has. In possession, finally gets one in behind the defensive line, takes it on his chest, and as the ball drops, tries the first time volley, can't keep the shot down and blazes it over the bar.
Birmingham make another change. It's another defender coming on, Harley Dean, who scored that 90th minute equaliser against Coventry on Tuesday, the first of the last gasp equalisers in the cup tie, and he's on for Scott Hogan. So Dean on. And how are they going to line up now? It has to be a back five now, and it is. He's just taken his place in the middle of the three centre halves, with Clark Salter to his left, Roberts to his right, Colin at right back, Pedersen at left back, Harding on the right hand side of midfield, Bellingham on the left, and Jukovic ploughing a lone furrow now in a 5-4-1 formation with 8 minutes to go. Just going back to that point about Bristol City's late goals, 14 of the 44 they've scored this season, and 13 of the 40 they've conceded before tonight have all come in the last 15 minutes. This often where the action is. There was a flurry of early scoring, 3 in the opening half hour today, but will there be late drama? Bristol City needs something. Remember, they can get an equaliser here. They move within 5 points of the top of the table, within 4 of the automatic promotion spots. They'll climb above Brentford, who are in action, incidentally, at home to Leeds on Tuesday, which is a game that David and I will talk you through from Griffin Park Tuesday night. The build-up starting at 6, can't wait for that. And Bristol City can turn this around and win. They're 3 points off the top. Bristol City in possession on the left-hand side. An opportunity to run at Harding. Ball inside the area, and Vyman couldn't get the touch to head in. He's already got one header into that goal in the first half when it was an own goal. He couldn't get the touch he needed there, but will he be able to from this resulting corner?
Great defending from Pedersen. He tracked the run of Vyman all the way. Terrific header clear.
Another Bristol City corner. It's their 5th of this second half alone. It's going to be a left-footed outswinger, in with pace. Jukovic heads it away, headed further clear by Bellingham. There's no out ball for Birmingham, with Jukovic back defending. Now he's the only striker. Now Hogan's gone off. Inevitably, When Bellingham plays it forward, Bristol City are going to get there first. That means it's teased back into the fray. Dean caught, and it's a free kick to Birmingham inside their penalty area. They've got 6.5 minutes plus stoppage time to hold on, to extend their unbeaten streak to 8, to make it only one away defeat in the last 8 league games, which will be an impressive run from the position they were in. Bristol City, on the other hand, 6 and a bit minutes to salvage something here. And maybe that a little bit more. Can they get a 5th straight league win? What a boon it would be for the final third of their season if they could turn this one around from this position. Camp's ball forward. Jukovic looks as though he's having his shirt pulled there by Baker. The referee and assistants have let plenty go tonight. And that one was headed out of play by Baker. Hit a Birmingham player on the way through, and it's a Bristol City throw. It's back for Benkovic. And Benkovic will play it out towards Baker. Bristol City with 3 at the back. For Birmingham, it's very much a 5, and Harding not straying too far away from Collan in behind him, so they're often 6 back for Birmingham, but invariably 10 behind the ball. Ashley Williams for Bristol City now, down the right hand touchline. Nice chasing it. Will get there before it runs out of play for a throw. Back from him to Williams. Little diving header away was well directed. Comes out towards Nathan Baker. Baker to Corey Smith. Everything inside Birmingham City territory now. Baker, left-footed ball clipped in. Birmingham defending very deep. That one's over here. Bellingham doing well, shepherding it towards the dead ball line, and then with the aid of Pedersen, Birmingham can get it away. In the end, Vyman made sure that Birmingham played it. Birmingham doing everything they can to try and push out, try and hold as high a line as possible, but it's not easy. It's a test of nerve, particularly with Benkovic now forward to supplement the strike force for Bristol City. They're throwing everything at it, but still Camp hasn't had a notable save to have to make.
Well, they've also put Williams up there, they've put Benkovic up there. Obviously just trying to put the ball into the box. They need good quality though. They've won a free kick here. Even in open play, Williams is staying up, Benkovic is staying up, almost playing 1-for-1 or 2v1. Corey Smith at the back.
Well, this latest free kick is nearer the halfway line than the edge of the penalty area, but Birmingham will play with a high line, as high a line again as they dare. It's headed down by Roberts into Pedersen, cleared though, out of play. Well dealt with by Collin for a throw that will be taken on the Bristol City right-hand side by Andy Vyman. 3.5 to go on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2, in a game in which Bristol City led inside 40 seconds. They have another free kick here.
Oh, it's a cheap one to give away as well. I think it's Jukovic, might have been Jukovic with a really subtle push in the back of Naj, unnecessary, so it's going to be another free kick coming in from this side.
Patterson is the player who stands with his boot on top of the ball. Eliasson comes over as well. This time the angle maybe favours the in-swinging delivery, and that's what they've decided to do. They're not trying to disguise it. Everyone else is inside the box with the exception of Corey Smith and the keeper. And
the keeper's just telling motion in the back four to get out, but they're so deep. I mean, by the time this comes in, they'll all be in the 6-yard box.
They're trying to keep a line level with the penalty spot and struggling at the moment. It's going to be Eliasson to swing it in. It's going to be an in-swinging delivery. If the delivery is good, it's only going to take a touch from Bristol City to get it back on level terms. In it comes, the whistle had gone. What's the referee seen? Some pushing and shoving. It was a Birmingham player, I think it was Dean, down inside the penalty area. The whistle, I think, went before Eliasson swept it in, so with the ball not being in play, it's just going to be a retake. Nothing more than that. Not a free kick to Birmingham, so another opportunity here. And this time Birmingham have managed to creep another yard further forward, but nothing more than that. Really good opportunity here for Bristol City as we tick into the 89th minute. Eliasson again, swung in left-footed. Out comes Camp and missed it, and it's headed over the bar. Another glorious opportunity. Sunjic picks himself up belatedly. Was it Ashley Williams, I think it was, that threw himself at it, but he just couldn't get a faint enough touch to guide it under the bar and in.
Well, it's a brilliant ball in from Eliasson. Aimed right along the 6-yard line. Ashley Williams gets up above again. That first contact, we saw him in the first half nearly get on the end of one. That's falling at the back post. Last time he does, this time he does, gets his head on it, but can't keep it down. It's another opportunity. It's gone off target. But their last one, maybe.
Well, Birmingham making their last change, and Jude Bellingham comes off. He'll be replaced by the Northern Ireland under-21 international Keelan Boyd-Muntz, who comes on for his league debut. He came on after 20 minutes against Coventry the other night, replacing the injured Josh McEachran. And this is his league debut, the 4th senior appearance of his career. We're in the 90th minute. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 2. There'll be a fair bit of time to be added on. Could easily be 5 minutes. Ball is headed through the midfield, but the referee spotted an infringement. Clark Salter leaning into his man. It's another free kick for Bristol City. I would imagine for the Birmingham fans, the clock is ticking down really slowly at the moment. Of course, it won't be for Bristol City supporters. They're going very quick as they search an equaliser, but can they create one more chance? They've not created very much from open play, but it's a steady succession of set pieces they're having. This one flanked it in by Patterson, flicked on by Baker, looking for Williams, who's pulled his man Jukovic back, and it's a free kick to Birmingham inside the penalty area, and by the time they take it, will be in stoppage time. 2-1 to Birmingham.
Yeah, that's just what they wanted. Another foul there just to slow the clock down. I think it might have been Williams with a little tug maybe on Jukovic. Bit too predictable what Bristol are doing here, but can they see it out? Birmingham, that's the challenge. 6 minutes.
Well, I said it could be 5. Birmingham fans will wish it was. It is 6. We're in them now. Camp striking this free kick forward very long, and he's done well. I say they play rugby on this ground. That would be an excellent clearance in rugby, because he's got it out of play for a throw about 5 yards from the opposition corner flag.
Into touch. Brilliant kick that would. But again, look, they're not committing numbers forward. They obviously, there's all 10 players back. It's just Scotty Hogan on his own up top. But they've got to do better than that sort of delivery. Awful from Benkovic. Straight into the arms of Camp.
And he's done what all good goalkeepers do under the circumstances. He's waited for the ball to roll towards him, and then he's thrown himself down to the ground as if it's the most difficult save he's ever had to make, just to waste a few more seconds. Good game management. Long clearance from him. Chased by Jukovic, who might get the better of Benkovic. It's Jukovic! It is goal number 100 of Lukas Jukovic's career. It is victory for Birmingham City, and a double-figure points gap above the bottom 3. They've beaten Forest at home, and now they're going to win away at Bristol City. What a week for the men in royal blue. Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 3, and a century for Lukas Jukovic.
Well, it's Route 1 football. Just a hopeful punt from Lee Camp forward, and it's Jukovic just out-muscles Benkovic. He's too strong for him. He knows exactly what he's doing with his body here. Jukovic just leans into Benkovic, just spins away from him, takes one touch. Now he's closing down, racing towards the goal. The keeper comes out, Bentley. He just dinks it over him. Terrific little cute finish from Jukovic. He's had a really good game. They deserve it. That's game, set, match. 3 points. Terrific away performance and victory for Birmingham.
And in his 150th league appearance for Blues, he scores goal number 41. All told in his career, it's 100 in 444 games. 3-1 to Birmingham. And here's Boyd-Muntz able to make his way forward. The Birmingham fans in rapturous chorus as they keep right on to the end of the road. Harding chasing down by the corner flag. It goes out of play for a goal kick which will be taken away to the left-hand side. And all the thoughts now for Bristol City, how they react. Derby at home, Leeds away, West Brom at home. A tough 3-ball of fixtures coming up after tonight, and they're going to go into it on the back of a home defeat to a side in the bottom 8.
Now, would Jukovic have scored if he was up against Williams?
Here's Bristol City at the other end. Goal, good play by Pedersen. He's just been able to flick it away from Naki Wells. Sorry, Dave.
Would Jukovic have scored if he was up against Williams there? No, absolutely not. I mean, Williams has managed him brilliantly all game, playing as a right-side centre-half. Instead, Benkovic comes on, he moves across. Benkovic is now the right-side centre-half. But look at him, he's sort of half the size, isn't he? He hasn't got the physical power to cope with someone like Jukovic. He just bundles him out of the way, and if that was Williams, it wouldn't have happened.
Needs must, Bristol City having to gamble. Now, a byproduct of a very disappointing first half performance. They've been better since half time, but still they haven't had a shot on target since they took the lead in 39 seconds. And that's going to be the biggest blow for Lee Johnson tonight. It's going to be a 5th home defeat of the season. Remember, their home form this season is only mid-table form. It's their away form that is propping up this promotion challenge, and it's the same again this evening. Birmingham with a long throw down the right-hand touchline. Ashley Williams will mop up for Bristol City and lay it back for his goalkeeper Bentley, and Bentley will play it out from the back for Benkovic. We've played 4 of the 6 additional minutes here on TalkSport 2. Bristol City 1, Birmingham 3. 2.5 minutes left. The ball played down the left-hand touchline for Bristol City. Kept in by Eliasson. Can they yet set up a grandstand finish by pulling one back here? Eliasson twisting and turning. Cross past Collan, but headed away well at the near post by Roberts, who had such a bad start to the night, but has been imperious at the back for the vast majority of the 90 minutes. This one out for a corner. Should be taken by Eliasson on the Bristol City left. 3-1 Birmingham is stoppage time. In towards the near post and headed over by Weimann from a tight angle on the corner of the 6-yard box.
Well, it's been very, very impressive here from the away team. They managed the game so well. Thought Birmingham were excellent in that first half. Scored some really good goals, defended well, attacked well. They've had a threat, haven't they, at the top of the pitch in terms of Jukovic being a bit of muscle and Hogan running in behind. Had quality in the middle of the park. Thought the 2 wide men were outstanding, Baylor and Bellingham.
Clearance from Lee Camp. Jukovic chesting it down. Scooped back over the top by Bristol City for the run down the inside left channel of Jeju. And across, Roberts can knock it away. Collan picks it up, digs it clear. Helped down the right-hand touchline by Harding, but only after the ball had gone over the line and out for a throw, which will be taken on the Bristol City left-hand side. 5.5 minutes played in stoppage time. So just 25 seconds left, plus whatever time the referee is going to add on for the stoppage time goal. Williams. Play to Corey Smith. Corey Smith having to go back to his goalkeeper. Pecletet out to the edge of his technical area, waving the Birmingham back line forward. Jeju heading it on, turned on by Baker, but again Collan is there for Birmingham, and he plays it forward towards Harding. Can't get past Ashley Williams, but he's conceded a throw, and Birmingham will run the clock down from there, and that will be that. Gavin Ward's looked at the watch. Collan heads it forward, down the line from Harding. Returned by Williams. Referee spots another push, and it's a free kick which will be taken by Birmingham. No time to take it. It's a massive victory for Birmingham City in their fight against relegation. And Bristol City, who came into tonight on the back of 4 wins to 0, have been undone by a side in the bottom 8. It's not a defeat that will derail their promotion challenge. Certainly victories in the games coming up against Leeds and West Brom will put them in a really strong position. But they go in to some big games on the back of another home defeat. Massive win for Birmingham City, who trailed inside 40 seconds after a mistake by Roberts was seized upon by Patterson. Hogan got them level. Weimann headed into his own net. And then with Birmingham up against the ropes, Lukas Jukovic scored the 100th goal of his career on the counter-attack to make the point safe. Bristol City 1, Birmingham City 3.